Hello and welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports, and it's either today's cycling tip or the PSA, public service announcement. So the Tour de France is on right now. Today is stage 5. Today is July the 5th. And this happened to me on Saturday, so I wanted to share it with you. Today's Wednesday. And I wanted to share it with you, and I wanted to see how many of you folks have this same type of, let's say, protocol. So on Saturday, on my cycling computer, I get a text, and it says, well, I actually don't want to say in case you're also behind schedule, so-and-so is in the yellow jersey. And I was like, I'm out on my bike. I'm doing a 12 plus hour ride, and I will watch the tour when I get home, and I might even be 2 to 3 days behind schedule. Oftentimes I am. And especially because now that GCN and Eurosport provide us with line-to-line coverage. And then there's a pregame and the postgame, there's all that. So, that's 7+ hours of viewing pleasure. Could be anyway, 6 hours at minimum. So I like to be surprised when I watch a stage and see who wins a stage, who, if the jerseys change hands and things like that. So first question is, how many of you are of the same, mindset? Hey, I don't want to know, I'm going to watch the tour later, la, 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 which all of us in my crew do. And this has been going on for years and years, that, the more coverage we get, the more we don't want to know. 10, 15 years ago, it was so hard to get any information that if you knew who was in the yellow jersey or who won a stage, yeah, you shared that information because it was so hard to get, right? But now, line-to-line coverage with the VPN and the GCN app. A lot of alphabet soup there. So here's the thing. I'd like to provide this tip to you folks. If you are someone who maybe just watches highlights and you're not, and you're current, you're like, as soon as the stage is over, what's gone on. When you approach someone else, and especially a very passionate cycling fan like myself, here I am, I have a business based on my passion, which is cycling. I wait for the tour every year. Thank goodness I can also watch other grand tours like the Vuelta and the Giro d'Italia, and then other races throughout the year as well. But I wait for the tour every year because it's the biggest bike race of the year. And I work and I ride a bike. So here's my tip for you. Approach or text or whatever. Hey, have you watched the tour today? And they'll be like, oh, no, I haven't had a chance. Or, yes, yeah, what's up? What do you want to talk about? But like I said, oftentimes I have not been able to catch up on tour watching. Now, typically it's playing on in the background in my shop. Customers come in, we watch the race together, that kind of stuff. Or I'm working on a bike. But then at home, it's trying to get time to watch it. And then also, like Saturday, I did a 12.5-hour bike ride, pedal time only. So I was out and on my bike 13+ hours. And by the way, that's something I have to do to get my mileage in to get ready for PBP, Paris-Brest Paris, a 750-mile event coming up August 20th. So that's my tip for today. When you've got the scoop and you're bursting, you're beaming with the fact that you have this information, the person you want to share it with make sure you're both on the same stage or something, and be like, hey, have you watched the tour today? No, I'm still on stage 3 and we're on stage 5. Yeah, let's talk about it when I catch up. And then, you shoot them a text and say, hey, I'm good to go. What was the controversy? What was the thing? So by the way, I stay off almost all social media except things that I'm putting out. So if I put out my ride on Instagram or Strava or any of these kinds of things, I post and I pretty much walk away. I don't look at my feed, because guess what? The algorithm is set up so that if something is popular and it's getting a lot of likes and it's getting a lot of comments, when you log on to that app, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, boom, it's current. It's got a lot of, the algorithm knows, hey, this has got a lot of attention. Let me provide that to this user. So that's why I stay off of social media for 20 something days. So I'd like to hear from you folks if you put on blinders during the tour or any other bike race for that matter. And how do you deal with that with your friends? And what do you say to them? Hey, you do your group ride, you end up at coffee, and and some of you are probably on the wrong, on different stages. How do you guys handle that? And that's just a big passion and thing for me. I mean, kind of like, no one, if you got a book to read, you don't want someone to spoil it for you by saying, oh yeah, the murderer was so-and-so and he did it, here or there. You don't want to know that. You want to get through the book. You want to live throughout that book, all the things that are happening that the author took the time to create the story for you, so that eventually, you find out who the murderer is. And then, oh my God, it was a surprise. I didn't expect it to be that person. So anyway, that's all for today. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you up the road.